All right, we're back. We have got our second quarterfinal and our final quarterfinal of the ladies' tournament between Andreeva and Boisson. Winner plays Gauff, who, if you're Andreeva, that sucks because she hasn't beaten Gauff before. Or at least recently, she's played her a few times and hasn't been able to beat her. But you never know. Maybe the wild card dream continues. Maybe that's what we're going to see coming up over the next couple of hours. But I'll tell you, Chad, despite the quality of that last match, at least it was close. I feel like we haven't had that many close matches in the last couple of days. Yesterday, we had one close match, kind of. The Tiafoe-Musetti match was good. The women's matches weren't close, really. The Alcaraz match was very one-sided. And then the day before that, I feel like it wasn't really that close either. You know, Sinner kind of wrecked Rublev, and on the women's side, you know, Gauff kind of took out Alexandra Eala pretty easily, and, you know, the other matches we watched as well. So it's good that we're hopefully getting some close matches. Hopefully this one is also close. Just shooting in. Is the crowd going to go wild? I'm sure they will. Let me have a listen. I'm sure this crowd is going to go nuts. Was he Andreeva's last on-court post-match interview? Priceless. She gained a fan with that one. Nice. I didn't see it. All right, Boisson on to the court. Let's see if she can surprise today. Crowd is very loud, by the way. Crowd is very vocal. Don't really like what Musetti did. Kick the ball aggressively and getting angry at an innocent ball kid. Calling it an accident. The woman was statue. Otherwise, I don't know. Hashtag Norway. Yeah, again, I feel like the only... I feel like the majority of people that are criticizing Musetti and the rules are Djokovic fans. And that makes sense because something similar happened and he didn't get the benefit of accident. Didn't get to use the accident, I didn't mean it, intention card. I get. So I get why like a lot of Djokovic fans are very upset by Musetti. But I feel like a lot of neutral fans don't care. Like we're just kind of like whatever. Like, I feel like a lot of neutral fans are just sort of sitting back on. It sucks, but no harm done, I guess. But I get the Djokovic fans are vocal and feel like they were ripped off from 5 years ago. Not the Musetti incident again. Nah, we're going to move on. We're not talking about it again. I just know that... Wait, hang on 1 second. Last time. I just know if Tiafoe did it, he would have been defaulted. Why? Why would Tiafoe have been treated any differently? Why? Why would Tiafoe have been treated any differently if it had happened to him? Because he wouldn't have. See, that just blows my mind. He wouldn't have been. What's Gil's take on the incident? Exactly. I have to go watch it still. I haven't watched it yet. I have to watch it after this. When I have a second to not watch matches. But what Gil says is always insightful and smart, so go do it. Yep, roof is still closed. Because it's raining, so the roof is shut. All right. Tiafoe would have been defaulted for sure, let's be honest. Oh my God. What do you mean? What do you mean? If he did the exact same thing, he would have got a warning for unsportsmanlike conduct like Musetti did. If he had done it and it had hurt somebody, that's a different conversation. If Musetti had done it and it had hurt somebody, it would have been a different conversation. Let's stop saying that the same incident would treat other players would be treated any differently. Can we stop doing that? Because it's really silly. All right. By the way, Musetti probably should have got a point penalty. It shouldn't have been just a warning. It should have been not a default, but not just a warning. I feel like it needed to be a little harsher, and a point penalty would have sufficed, I think. But again, that's just a rule thing. But come on. Fans louder when the roof is shut? Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. This is going to echo, this atmosphere is going to just bounce off the roof and be super loud. By the way, Bublik Sinner comes on after this. Can Musetti get fined for it? Yeah, he would get fined for it. I think if you get fined anyway if you get a warning. Like if you get if you break a racket, you get fined. If you hit a ball out of the stadium, you get fined. If you swear, you get fined. If you do what Musetti did, you get fined. Like every code violation comes with fines. I don't know if there's like a set number of what it is, but yeah, he would have got fined for that for sure. Unsportsmanlike conduct warning gets you a fine. Like if you do that, you get a fine. I don't know what it would be though. Yeah, we're not talking about the Musetti thing anymore. Because it doesn't... At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because nothing's happened. Like, he's not going to get retroactively defaulted. They're not going to say, hey, you're not playing Alcaraz tomorrow, or Tiafoe's playing Alcaraz on Friday. Like, that's not going to change. So there's no point. We've discussed it at length. We have discussed it at length. And we have exhausted we've exhausted it. All right. I don't know who's serving, but we're just waiting for the players to warm up. And then we will begin. All right. All right. Here we go, chat. Here we go. Here we go. I think Boisson's going to serve. Andreeva ready to return. Winner plays Coco on tomorrow, because tomorrow is women's semi-finals day. Here we go. I'm going to go Andreeva in... Did I say close straight sets or 3? I can't remember. I think I said close straight sets. As the return goes into the forehand of Boisson, as backhand from Andreeva to the slice of Boisson. Again to the backhand of Andreeva, who puts in net, and the crowd go, wild! Ah! 15 love. Love. Boisson with a great serve out wide. 30 love. Serve again. Into the forehand of Andreeva, but it goes wide. 40 love. Into the serve again. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson hits it long, and it's 40-15. 40-15. Serve again. And a nice game for the French woman to start this match. 1 love. One love. Let's see how Andreeva deals with this crowd, because the crowd are gonna be a massive factor in this result for Boisson, but also against Andreeva. Like that, we're gonna see how she can deal with the crowd being against cheering everything she does wrong. All those double faults, all those unforced errors. She's going to get a lot of cheers for all the wrong reasons. All right, Andreeva to serve. As we're led on the first serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Andreeva, Boisson backhand. It goes long. And it's 15 love. All right. $30 love. As Andreeva serves again. Return goes into the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson forehand to the backhand of Andreeva. Andreeva hits it long. 30-15. 30-15. As the return goes into the forehand of Andreeva. Andreeva puts that away. 40-15. 1 second, chat. Ah, 40-15. Going to serve now the forehand of Boisson. Backhand lob by Andreeva. Goes long. Goes wide, sorry. 40-30. 40-30. As the return goes out by Boisson, and it's Andreeva, 1-all. Andreeva holds. Okay, 5 minutes played. Back to Boisson. As the return goes in the net by Andreeva. 15-love. As the return goes in the forehand of Andreeva. Forehand now from Boisson. Into the backhand of Andreeva. As Boisson backhand again to the backhand of Andreeva. Into the backhand of Boisson. We get a forehand now from Andreeva into the forehand of Boisson. Again to the forehand of Andreeva. Boisson, the backhand on the stretch goes long, and it's 15-all. As we get a fault. Second serve. It's a double fault. 15-30. Chance to break. Andreeva. And the return goes into the forehand of Boisson. She has a lovely drop shot winner. And it's 30-all. As the return goes into the forehand of Boisson. Boisson in the nets. 30-40. Break point for Andreeva. As the return goes out, and we get to deuce. As we get a forehand now from Andreeva. Straight to the backhand of Boisson. Lob goes up. Andreeva smash. Boisson backhand. Into the forehand of Andreeva as Boisson on the stretch with the pass goes wide. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. To take the break. As Andreeva forehand goes in the forehand of Boisson. But Boisson hits it in the net. There's the break. There's the break. Okay. Andreeva takes the break. All right. Andreeva with the break to start this match. Remember, Boisson was a set down against Pegula. That is true. All right, let on the first serve. As a return goes the backhand of Andreeva. Andreeva hits a win up, 15-love. The crowd are not super excited about what's going on. And with a fault, second serve. All right, double fault, 15-all. As with a fault, second serve. Another double fault. All right, 15-30. As the return goes into the backhand of Andreeva, forehand from Boisson in the net, 30-all. All right, 40-30. As the backhand goes into the forehand of Andreeva, Boisson with the backhand. Into the backhand of Andreeva, Boisson slice. As Andreeva backhand again to the backhand of Boisson as we get a backhand again from Andreeva down the line. Boisson with the forehand. Andreeva gets it. Boisson forehand again. And then a drop shot on Andreeva. Boisson gets with a forehand down the line. Andreeva backhand pass in the net. We get the deuce. We get to deuce. All right. The crowd's going nuts. The umpire's trying to tell them to be quiet. It ain't working. As a return goes into the forehand of Boisson. Forehand from Andreeva as Boisson forehand again. Goes down the line from Andreeva. Slice Boisson into the backhand of Andreeva. As Boisson backhand again to the backhand of Andreeva. Into the forehand of Boisson as Andreeva backhand again. To the forehand of Boisson. Long rally as we slice again from Andreeva. Down the line now Boisson to the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson goes again to the backhand of Andreeva. Another backhand from Andreeva is a moon ball. Boisson gets it into the forehand of Andreeva. Andreeva hits the winner cross court. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva to get the 3-1 lead. All right. Advantage Andreeva. And the return goes in the forehand of Boisson. Back in Andreeva. Goes long. We get back to deuce. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. As we get a backhand in the net from Boisson. Advantage Andreeva. As with a fault. Second serve. And the return goes out by Boisson, and it's 3-1. 3-1. Okay. Three, 1, Andreeva. As the return goes in the backhand of Boisson, forehand from Andreeva. Into the forehand of Boisson as Andreeva goes down the line to the backhand slice of Boisson. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson with a forehand cross. Andreeva drop shot. Boisson gets it back, but Andreeva puts it away. He's getting outplayed. Love 15. As a return, goes wide by Andreeva. 15 all. Return goes to forehand of Andreeva, and then Andreeva in the net. All right. 30-15. As a return is a winner by Andreeva, 30-all. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Boisson, as with a forehand now from Andreeva. Into the forehand of Boisson, as Andreeva forehand again. Goes wide, 40-30. 40-30. As the return goes to forehand on Boisson. Boisson in the net. We get the deuce. We get to deuce. As the return goes in the forehand of Boisson. And then a forehand from Andreeva on the stretch with a slice. Boisson's going to come to the net with a drop shot. Andreeva's going to get there with a backhand pass, but Boisson with a volley. Andreeva puts up a lob. Goes in, and Boisson hits a smash straight to Andreeva. Now Boisson with a forehand again at the forehand of Andreeva. Hits it down the line. Boisson slicing the net. Advantage Andreeva for the double break. Advantage Andreeva. As with a fault second serve. So at the back of Andreeva, Boisson drop shot. Too good. Too good. Very clean drop shot. And we get the deuce. Beautiful drop shot. We get the deuce. There's no ventilation inside the stadium. That is not true. As Boisson goes down the line at the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson smash. Goes straight to Andreeva. But Andreeva hits it wide. Advantage Boisson. Advantage Boisson. As Andreeva gets the point, slicing the net by Boisson. And we get back to deuce. And then she serves an ace. Advantage Boisson. Advantage Boisson to get on the board again. And she holds. Boisson with the hold. All right, chat. So here is the roof. Is a concertina roof like this. And that's a close-up of what it looks like. So there is actually a gap here. So it's not fully ventilated, but it is open. There are little gaps within the roof structure. So here, here, and here, here. There are gaps in the roof. It's not a full metal box. The roof is shaped like this, and there are openings in the roof. So there is ventilation, which is why the players are looking cold, because it's not like a sauna in there. It's not hot or humid. It's ventilated. The roof is closed, but the roof is not. There are openings in the roof that make it ventilated. Anyways, back to Andreeva. She's got the break 3-2. It's probably got aircon as well, but yeah, it's not airtight. No, it's got, and you can even see when you look at it, you can see how like in the top, it's like glowing. Those things that I drew are glowing up the top of the roof because the light's coming in, not because there's a spotlight there, but because the sun is coming through that opening and it's glowing, right? You can see. All right, love 15. Boisson wins the first point. He's got a forehand from Andreeva to the backhand of Boisson. Into the forehand of Andreeva. Boisson backhand. Again to the forehand of Andreeva. As Boisson slice. Andreeva slices it back, but it's in the net. And it's love 30. Love 30. And on the other court, it's a little bit, it's a different design to that one, but it still does have openings. Because I think they probably learned from Wimbledon, because Wimbledon is a stadium when the roof is shut is locked in, right, and it gets humid and sweaty. They probably learned from that. It's with a backhand winner from Andreeva 15-30. So they probably learned from Wimbledon's mistake of making it airtight, what could cause issues in the future. But yeah, they didn't just make it a solid roof, right? They left openings on the side, not big openings that would let rain in, but enough that could let the air in and let the air out, right? The heat out. As that goes wide by Andreeva, 15-40. Break points for Boisson to break back. Yeah, Susan Longland has got massive openings in it. All right, 15-40. Serve. Into the forehand of Boisson. Backhand now from Andreeva. Goes long. We're back on serve. That was a bad game by Andreeva. Sloppy game. We're back on serve. We are back on serve. Andreeva gave that one away. You are not wrong. All right, 3-all. And that goes out on the return from... So that's a double fault by Boisson. Love 15. The crowd are going crazy, yeah. They are going nuts. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. And like the video as well if you haven't already. As Boisson hits a lovely winner, and it's 15-all. $15-all. $15-all. Andreeva can't beat Gauff. I'm calling it, okay? We'll find out later. As that goes into the net from Boisson. $15-30. $15-30. And the return goes into the forehand of Boisson. Forehand out from Andreeva is a lob. And Boisson hits it. Somehow hits it in. She shanked it, but it went in. All right, 15. So 30-all. $30-all. $30-all. As the return goes into the backhand of Andreeva, backhand of Boisson. Into the forehand of Andreeva as Boisson forehand to the backhand of Andreeva. Again to the forehand of Boisson. We get a forehand now down the line. The backhand of Boisson, and Boisson in the net. 30-40. It's Boisson, not Boisson. Oh my God. I'm Australian. This is my accent. I'm saying it with an S, but it sounds like a Z because I'm Australian, all right? I'm Aussie, which is spelled A-U-S-S-I-E, but I say Aussie because I'm Australian. I'm Australian. Apologies. It's my accent. I can't help it. I try. I'm saying it very quick, by the way, and that's even harder. Anyways, backhand winner there from Andreeva. 4-3. I'm doing my best. All right. $4-3 Andreeva. All right. All right. Andreeva breaks again. All right. At least you're making the effort. I'm trying. I was saying Boisson, but I'm saying Boisson because I'm saying it fast. So it sounds different. All right. Anyways, Boisson hits it wide. And it's 15-love. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As Boisson hits it down the line. Andreeva with a drop shot. Boisson's drop shot. And then Andreeva slices the cross-court winner. All right. As we had a fault, second serve, 30 love. All right, double fault from Andreeva, 30-15. As Boisson gets Andreeva to the net, but Andreeva hits it out. All right. As a backhand slice from Boisson, and then the lovely volley put away. It's 40-30. All right, first serve was a fault, second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Andreeva. But Andreeva hits it wide, and we get the deuce. We get to deuce. All right, we get to deuce. As a forehand on the stretch from Boisson. Andreeva forehand to the backhand of Boisson. Into the backhand of Andreeva. As Boisson slice. As a drop shot from Andreeva. Boisson gets it. And then Andreeva hits a backhand passing shot. And it's advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. To take the 5-3 lead. As Boisson goes to the slice of Andreeva. Boisson forehand down the line. Andreeva with the backhand pass. Is too good. 5-3. She keeps the break. All right. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As that goes out by Boisson. Love 15. As with a forehand now from Andreeva down the line, the backhand of Boisson. Andreeva again, the backhand of Boisson. As Andreeva with a forehand cross. Boisson slice is short, but Andreeva gets it with a drop shot. Boisson forehand winner down the line though. It's 15-0 as Andreeva hits herself in the head. She's like, what was I thinking? That was a terrible shot. All right. As we get a let. Is it a forehand inside out from Boisson? That's just too good from Andreeva. 15-30. As it a bounce smash from Boisson, and she puts it away. 30-0. As the return goes out by Andreeva, and it's 40-30. First serve's a fault, second serve. Into the backhand of Andreeva, backhand of Boisson. Goes wide, and it's deuce. We get to deuce. As we get a backhand to the backhand of Andreeva, slice from Boisson. Andreeva backhand again to the backhand of Boisson, sliced. As Andreeva backhand again into the backhand of Boisson. Andreeva slice forehand on the stretch. Into the forehand of Boisson. And Andreeva with a passing shot winner. And she takes, or gets a set point. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. As the return goes in the forehand of Boisson. Andreeva to the backhand of Boisson. Boisson hits a winner. We get back to deuce. As Boisson hits a great serve, and it's advantage to her. All right. Boisson puts it away. 5-4. Andreeva's going to serve at the set. Boisson saves the game. All right. What does it mean when you say a player is back on serve? Well, when someone has a break, it means that they're not on serve, because on serve means it will be level. So back on serve means it's back level. Like they're back playing together. Like they're both level. The scores are level. Okay, 5-4. Andreeva's going to serve for the set. You pronounce Boisson with 4 different pronunciations, and they're all wrong. Too bad. It's too bad. That sucks. The end. I would like Coco and Swiatek in the final. That'd be fun. It's easier when it's phonetic. So you're using big words now. It is what it is. I say a lot of things wrong. So I'm saying Andreeva instead of Andreeva. I mean, come on now. All right. Andreeva hits a forehand. Boisson gets it back. Andreeva slice. Boisson puts up the lob. Andreeva with the smash goes wide. It's love 15. Love 15. Terrible smash by Andreeva. As Andreeva serves again. And the return goes in the backhand of Andreeva. Backhand of Boisson. As Andreeva drop shot is a winner. 15-all. 15-all. $15-all. 7 in the backhand of Boisson, as we get a find now from Andreeva. Boisson backhand to the backhand of Andreeva. As Boisson slices it back into the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson again with a backhand. Slice on Andreeva. Boisson slice comes to the net. Andreeva with a forehand pass. Goes wide. 15-30. All right, 15-30. As we serve now the forehand of Boisson. Forehand from Andreeva on the net. 15-40. Bad hitting by Andreeva again. She gave the break away by playing a sloppy game. All right, to get back on serve. Andreeva serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Boisson. As we go back into Andreeva to the forehand of Boisson. Into the forehand of Andreeva, who hits it in there. We're back on serve. 5-all. That was a bad game. All right, we're back on serve. 5-5. Nearly an hour played, by the way. 5-all. 5-5. And Boisson wins the first point. 15-love. As we got backhand from Andreeva, goes into the forehand of Boisson. Andreeva comes to the net with a smash. Boisson slices it back. Andreeva forehand, cross court into the forehand of Boisson, but Andreeva puts away the volley. 15-all. Boisson needs to encourage the crowd. I agree. That would... I mean, the crowd's already going nuts without her encouragement. But yeah, the encouragement would definitely add to it. $15-all. As the return goes into the forehand of Boisson. Backhand now from Andreeva goes wide. 30-15. 30-15. Winner plays Gauff on Thursday, aka tomorrow. Yeah, Andreeva's missing, like making terrible smashes. She's almost hitting them like inside out. It's weird. Anyway, it's 40-15. Like she's not hitting them like regulation smashes. They're weird. 40-15. Boisson to get the lead. $40-15. Yeah, she shanked a lot of them, yeah. Boisson serves a fault. Second serve. There's a backhand return. Goes in the front of Boisson. Forehand now from Andreeva goes wide. And Boisson is going to take the lead. 6-5, first set. Andreeva's struggling. Is the scoreboard broken? Why would it be broken? It's not broken. All right. Andreeva's going to serve for to get to a tiebreak. All right. All right. All right. All right. Andreeva to serve to get to the tiebreak. All right, backhand goes in. to the forehand of Andreeva, and then Boisson wins a point. Love 15. Love 15. The crowd are going crazy again. As that goes in from Boisson again, and it's love 30. Love 30. Love 30. As the return goes to front of Andreeva. Back in now from Boisson off the tape. And Andreeva back in winner. All right, love 30. Love 15-30, sorry, as Andreeva tries to hold. As the backhand return goes out, and it's 30-all. 30-all. As the return goes in, the forehand of Andreeva. Up goes a lob by Boisson, but then Andreeva puts it away. 40-30. All right, 40-30. As the return goes to forehand of Andreeva. Forehand now from Boisson. As Andreeva slices it back. Boisson forehand again to the forehand of Andreeva, who's a drop shot in the net. We get the deuce. We get to deuce. As the return goes, oh no, Andreeva in the net. Andreeva makes the error. And Boisson's got a set point. Andreeva had a set point just before. Okay. Crowd's going wild. The crowd is going crazy. Serve is a fault. Second serve as the return goes into the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson forehand. And Andreeva puts a smash away. That was a strong smash. She's been missing those. And we get to deuce. All right. We get to deuce. As the return goes into the backhand of Boisson, and Boisson hits a wide. Andreeva gets to advantage. All right. Advantage on Andreeva to take us to a tiebreak. As a return goes into the forehand of Boisson. Forehand from Andreeva on the stretch with the slice. Boisson with a forehand to the back of Andreeva. Lob goes up, but out. We get back to deuce. We get back to deuce. Andreeva serves again. Fault. Second serve. Double fault. Oh no. Double fault. Boisson with a set point again. To take the first set here. Well, Sinner Bublik's coming on after this. Winner of this plays Coco. As with a fault. Second serve. Second serve of the forehand of Boisson. She shanks it wide. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. Both have had set points, and we're not even in a tiebreak yet. All right, first serve is a fault. Second serve. Another double fault. Advantage Boisson to get the first set. Shocking serving. All right. Set point again for Boisson. As the return goes into the forehand of Andreeva, Boisson backhand goes out. Deuce. Oh, the umpire's going to check, though. Hang on. Umpire's going to check. Linesperson pointing. The umpire double checks and confirms. And we're back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. Serving to the forehand of Boisson. Backhand out from Andreeva to the backhand of Boisson. Sliced. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson backhand down the line is wide and it's advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. Take it to a tiebreak. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes in the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson gets the point though. Andreeva in the net. Back to deuce. All right. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the backhand now goes into the backhand of Andreeva. Backhand of Boisson. It's sliced. The backhand of Andreeva is Boisson. Again to the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson slice again. The backhand of Andreeva is Boisson slice again. Goes wide. Advantage Andreeva. Have we been an hour yet? It's been over an hour. Sure has. 66 minutes this first set. And it's another game point for Andreeva to take us to a tiebreak. Hey, Jams, thank you for the 16 months, and thank you, Marco, for becoming a member. All right, advantage Andreeva. Serve. There's a fault. Second serve. Into the forehand of Boisson. Off the tape goes into the forehand of Andreeva. Andreeva hits it wide, and we're back to deuce. Back to deuce. Bad miss. Back to deuce. Serve is an ace. Advantage on Andreeva. Take us to a tiebreak. Serving to the back end of Boisson as we get a forehand now from Andreeva. Into the forehand of Boisson. Andreeva backhand slice. Boisson forehand. Into the forehand of Andreeva sliced again. Boisson in control as Andreeva hits a forehand down the line. Goes out. We're back to deuce. Back to deuce. We're back to deuce. First serve is a fault, second serve. As the return goes into the slice of Boisson. Forehand from Andreeva to the forehand of Boisson. Andreeva slice again. Boisson with a forehand down the line goes long. No, it goes in. Okay. As Andreeva hits a drop shot. Boisson's going to get there, but hit it out. Advantage Andreeva to get us to this tiebreak. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. And she serves straight at the body of Boisson. Andreeva then forehand cross court. Boisson gets it. And Andreeva volleys it away. Tie break. Who's winning the tie break? Who's winning the tie break? This has been a marathon set. But who is winning the tie break? A lot of people are going to say Mirra, okay? A few are saying Boisson, okay. All right. Boisson's going to serve first. First serve from Boisson. The umpire's getting booed. All right. Boisson is going to serve first. Time for the crowd to quiet down. Boisson serves. The return goes into the forehand of Boisson. Forehand now from Andreeva as Boisson backhand. Andreeva forehand again. The forehand of Boisson. And Andreeva backhand down the line. That's a great shot. One love, Andreeva. Great backhand winner. One love, Andreeva. One zero, Andreeva. Mini break secured. As Andreeva serves. Into the backhand of Boisson. Return goes to the front of Andreeva. Boisson forehand into the front of Andreeva. As Boisson goes down the line in the net. 2-love, Andreeva. 2-love, Andreeva. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As the return goes in the back of Andreeva, forehand out from Boisson is a winner. Mini break returned. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1 Andreeva, but we're back on serve. All right, serve again. There's a forehand out from Boisson in the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson forehand into the front of Andreeva. Lob goes up. Boisson with a forehand winner. 2-all. As Boisson tries to get the lead in this tiebreak. By the way, chat, don't forget to sub if you haven't already. And like the video too. We're almost at 400 likes. As the return goes in the back of Boisson, that's a win-up. And she gets to 3-2. She leads. 3-2 Boisson. She says sorry because it was so good. All right, serve again. It's a fault. Second serve. Double fault. Oof. The change ends. 4-2 Boisson. Oh, the crowd's going... It's booing. They're booing someone. I don't know what happened. Someone drove a pissed or something. I don't know. All right, 4-2. Sorry, Boisson. They change ends. All right. Mirra is nervous and getting upset. Said at the start of this match whether or not Andreeva could keep her cool in this sort of pressure, because this crowd is not being nice to her, and that's fair enough. She's in France. They're not going to be nice to her. Why would they be? When she's playing a French woman. As we get a forehand down the line from Andreeva. Boisson returns at slice. Into the forehand of Andreeva. Then she comes to the net. Volley Andreeva. Slice lob by Boisson. Andreeva smash. Boisson gets it back, but it's long. 4-3 Boisson. She's got the break. Boisson 4-3. Boisson. Serve again. Can Andreeva fight back? Good fault, second serve. Second serve, the back of Andreeva. Forehand from Boisson. Into the forehand of Andreeva as Boisson forehand down the line. Andreeva backhand on the stretch. Boisson forehand inside out. Andreeva slices it back. To the forehand of Boisson. That's a win up. And it's 5-3 to Boisson. 5-3. As we default, second serve. Winner of this plays Coco Gauff. 7 to the front of Andreeva. Good return the backhand of Boisson. Andreeva backhand down the line. Boisson gets it with a slice. Andreeva backhand cross winner. And it's back on serve. 5-4. 5-4 Boisson. All right. 5-4. As we return now the backhand of Andreeva. Point out from Boisson is long. It's 5-all. Andreeva levels. 5-5. Andreeva to try and get to a set point. 5-5. 7 to the forehand of Boisson. Return goes to the forehand of Andreeva. Boisson backhand. Into the forehand of Andreeva. Boisson pass. Andreeva gets the point. And the set point. 6-5. Andreeva. 6-5 Andreeva. All right. 6-5. As a fault from Boisson. Second serve. Seven to the backhand of Andreeva. Final from Boisson. Andreeva backhand down the line. That's a great shot. Boisson puts up a lob. Andreeva lets it bounce. It goes in to the forehand and puts it wide. Wow. Andreeva was winning that point until she wasn't. Boisson, great defense. Six all. 6-all. 6-6. Six, six. As Boisson serves. Six, six. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Serving to the back of Andreeva. Return the net. Boisson gets a set point. 7-6. But it's on Andreeva's serve. 7-6 Boisson. As Andreeva serves. To the forehand of Boisson. Return goes to the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson with the forehand on the stretch. Into the forehand of Andreeva. Andreeva hits it out! Boisson points to her ear. She takes the first set. She takes the first set. 7-6. Andreeva's in trouble. This crowd are going crazy. 80 minutes, that first set. Long first set. And this crowd are just going nuts. Boisson takes the first. Okay. First set to the French woman. Is the roof closed? Yes. And Andreeva getting a little annoyed. Yeah, Andreeva is starting to get annoyed. 21 winners, 22 errors from Andreeva, 20 winners and 18 errors from Boisson. That was actually a clean set. It was a long set, but the errors and winner count was pretty even compared to the last match where it was a lot more errors. Obviously, a lot of errors, 40 errors, but still 41 winners. So, no, we'll take that. We'll take that. A lot of double faults from Andreeva, though. That's the biggest problem. Her serve was a big problem. Okay. First set in the bag. Why we must wait so much on men's matches? Because that's how the schedule works. I mean, the schedule, it is what it is. Like, Sinner can't play on this court until this match is over. I don't think is it that hard to understand? Sinner plays after this match, but he can't play until this match finishes, because if he started to play now, then he would get in the way. He would be standing in the way of Andreeva playing this match. Like, does that make sense? Like, if Sinner came out right now and stood on court ready to serve while they were sitting down, they haven't finished yet, so he would have to get out of the way. You know what I mean? So when they're finished, he will come out on court and then play his match. But he can't play his match before this match ends, unless he plays outside. But it's raining. 15 love. Andreeva serving first in the second. Is this a serious conversation? I don't know. Somebody asked the question. It makes sense. Good. I'm glad. All right. Return goes into the backhand of Andreeva. Forehand from Boisson. As Andreeva forehand to the forehand of Boisson. Andreeva slice. Into the forehand of Boisson. As Andreeva with the backhand cross goes wide. 15-0. 15-all. This is actually crazy. It's getting pretty crazy. Andreeva serves again. Boisson has become Serena in her prime. What? What do you mean? 15:30. All the matches are on center court. Yep. 15:30. Boisson might get the break here early. And Andreeva's starting to get annoyed. At the crowd. And telling the umpire to tell them to shut up. I mean, this is going to be a learning experience for Andreeva, because playing, this could be, I'm going to check. Has Andreeva played a local in front of their home crowd on a Grand Slam stage? Because there's nothing like playing the French in France. Like, that's one of the hardest crowds to play against. In Australia, it's respectable. Like, we don't go too crazy, unless you're curious. Has she played against... So she's played 32 Grand Slam matches, Andreeva, before this week. She has played Paris in France back in 2023, but I can't remember what that was. She won the match in straight, so maybe she just didn't... The crowd didn't have anything to cheer about. She hasn't played a Brit at Wimbledon yet. She has played Gauff at the US Open, so maybe that was pretty hectic. She has played Gracheva in France last year. But again, close first set, but she won, so it might not have been as intense. 30-40 here, break point. And she hasn't played an Aussie in Australia. So she has played a French player a couple of times here, but she won the first set, which shuts the crowd up. I don't know if she's played. I mean, a quarterfinal is crazy. Is a whole different level because the crowd's gone even crazier as we introduce. Playing, a French woman in the first rounds is not the same as playing a French woman in the quarterfinals when everybody's watching. It's the only match in town. So this might be a unique situation for Andreeva. And again, there's nothing like playing the French in France. Like, that's a whole different thing. They're going to cheer double faults. They're going to cheer you faulting one time. They're not going to give you any cheering. Advantage Andreeva. As Andreeva puts it away, 1-love in the second. Andreeva. Okay. Martinez is getting both barrels from Mirra. Yeah, she's it's not fun for anybody in the Andreeva camp at the moment. All right. Does Bublik have any chances today? Of course. Everyone's got a chance always. It's just a small chance, but he has a chance. As Boisson serves a fault, second serve. Serving to the backhand of Andreeva. Forehand Boisson into the forehand of Andreeva. Again to the forehand of Boisson as Andreeva down the line. Into the slice of Boisson. Andreeva comes in with a volley and puts it away. No, Boisson gets it back. And then Andreeva puts it away. Love 15. I'm going to say this once. If anybody in the chat is referring to anybody on the court during a WTA match as a man or manly, you're going to get banned and you'll never come back. So keep it to yourself. It's not funny. It's actually quite rude. So, yeah, keep it to yourself and or leave. Mods, be onto it. Keep that in mind because I've seen it more than once from more than one person. All right, 15-all as Andreeva hits in the net. 15-all. Who does that? Deeply insecure people, apparently. 15-all. As we serve now the forehand of Andreeva. Back in now from Boisson goes long, and it's 15-30. Andreeva a chance to break. And 1 hour and 30 minutes play. This has been a marathon already. We're not even halfway through. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Second serve. All right, 30-all. This will go over 3 hours, probably. All right. 30-all. As Boisson serves again. As the return goes into the forehand of Boisson. Backing up from Andreeva. Boisson with a forehand on the stretch. Andreeva with a half volley drop shot. Boisson gets it. Andreeva forehand lob. Boisson's going to hit a tweener. No, she's not. She just couldn't get back in time. Good hitting by Andreeva. 30-40. No worries, Robin. Yeah, those people are not going to stay here. So if you are one of those people that keep saying that, be careful, because we're not dealing with that. It's unacceptable. All right. 30-40. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the back of Andreeva. Return goes to forehand by Boisson. Has Andreeva slice. Boisson with a forehand down the line. As Andreeva hits a backhand cross. Boisson gets it, but it's in the net. 2-love Andreeva. She breaks early in the second. All right. All right. To love. Andreeva breaks. As the return goes out by Boisson, 15-love. $15-love. As we return now to the forehand of Andreeva, Boisson with the backhand goes long, and it's 30-love. All right, 30-love. $30-love. As we let first serve. As Andreeva gets to 30-15. As with a forehand now from Andreeva into the back of the by side. Lob goes up. Andreeva with a smash, too strong. And it's And it's 40-15. We get a fault second serve. Serving to the backhand of Boisson. Backhand on Andreeva is a drop shot. Boisson gets it with the drop shot back. Andreeva puts up a lob. And then Boisson puts away the smash. 40-30. $40-30. $40-30. $40-30. First serve is a let. We've got a fault. Second serve goes into the backhand of Boisson. Backhand out from Andreeva to the forehand of Boisson. Andreeva slice. Into the forehand of Boisson down the line. That's a great shot. Andreeva puts up a lob. Bounce smash from Boisson. He's a winner. We get to deuce. All right, we get to deuce. A bit of fault, second serve. So return goes into the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson with a forehand to the backhand of Andreeva. As Boisson forehand again. Andreeva. Again to the forehand of Boisson. As Andreeva goes down the line. Boisson slices it back. As Andreeva backhand goes in. Cross-court winner. Advantage. Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. For a 3-love lead. 7 to the backhand of Boisson. Return goes to the backhand of Andreeva. Boisson backhand slice. Into the backhand of Andreeva as Boisson with a forehand cross. Andreeva down the line. Boisson backhand in the net. 3-love Andreeva in the second. She's slowly fighting back. Okay. What's going on, chat? All right. Sinner match much later. Yeah, after this match, Sinner comes up. So it could be an hour. Could be more. Could be less. Probably not less. Probably more. Now we know what Pegula had to face. Yeah. That is what we're dealing with. I feel sorry for Andreeva. Hey, look, this is just the reality of playing in France. It's what happens. It's nothing new. It's never going to change. You might not like it, but you're going to have to deal with it because that's just how it is. That's just how it is. You play a French person in France, you're going to have to deal with this. It's been like this forever. It's never going to change. Even if you don't like it, chat. You're just going to have to deal with it. It is what it is. All right, 15 love. As your backhand slice. And Andreeva eventually hits it out. 30 love. As Boisson hits an error and it's 30-15. There is a lot of tennis left. Winner plays Gauff, by the way. It's a great learning experience for Mirra. She's going to learn from whatever the outcome. Oh, for sure. This is definitely a learning experience. Uh, 40-15. All right, 40-30. Hey, Robin, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. 40-30 to keep. Close. Andreeva was up a break in the first set. As we have a backhand now from Andreeva into the backhand of Boisson. Andreeva with a forehand drop shot. Boisson's going to get it. And then Andreeva with a lob. Boisson with a drop volley. Andreeva gets to the backhand but hits it long, and it's 3-1 Andreeva. She slaps herself in the leg, Andreeva. I mean, that was just a good drop shot from Boisson. Nothing she could do. 3-1. 3-1. All right. First serve is a fault, second serve. As we get a double fault on Andreeva. Love 15. Love 15. Serve again. As the return goes into the forehand of Andreeva. Forehand out from Boisson to the backhand of Andreeva. To the backhand of Boisson sliced. Andreeva backhand again to the backhand of Boisson. Andreeva sliced it back. As Boisson with a forehand down the line. Andreeva's there with the backhand cross. Boisson runs around into forehand inside in. To the forehand of Andreeva. Boisson with a slice. Goes wide. Alright, Chad, I've got to explain this because I know I get asked this a lot. What's an inside in forehand? So Boisson, right? She was out here to hit a forehand. Now, she could have hit a backhand because Andreeva hit the ball out here, right? And instead of hitting a backhand, Boisson ran around and hit a forehand. But the problem with that is if you don't hit a winner, you're out here. It means the whole court's open, right? Boisson went down the line, which is an inside-in forehand, because inside-out would have been the other way. She went down here, but Andreeva was here, and she just went like this. And Boisson was not going to get back, right? So Andreeva, you got to put the winner away. If you're Boisson, if you're going to hit a shot down here, and your opponent is here, that has to be a hell of a good shot. Or you're going to leave the whole court exposed, this whole court here. There's no, Andreeva's too good not to miss that, right? And that makes sense. So inside in is when you run around a backhand, you run around the backhand, you hit a forehand, but instead of hitting it inside out, which is that way, you hit it down the line. Inside in. Anyway, it's 15-40, breakback points. Does that make sense? Anyway, anyone? All right. Andreeva in trouble. $15.40. As the return goes out by Boisson, that's one save. 30-40. $30-40. Can you explain what a body serve is? Yeah, after this I can. 30-40. First serve's a fault, second serve. Serve to the forehand of Boisson. Return goes backhand of Andreeva. Boisson forehand on the stretch. So Andreeva goes down the line to the backhand of Boisson. And Boisson hits a winner. We're back on serve. All right. So the body serve. Let's say the red player is serving, right? And the blue player is returning. Out wide. Actually, I've got this the wrong way. Hang on. Let me do this so everybody can see properly. All right, so there's 3 types of serves directions. You have, for a right-hander, it's the opposite way for a lefty. So here's the blue play down here, right? So you've got out wide, which goes out like this, wide, right? That's an out wide serve for a right-hander. You go down the tee, all right? Down the tee. And then there's the body serve, which is the most underused serve. And that is when you serve it and it goes straight down the middle. And it makes your opponent try to hit a ball and almost like protect themselves from getting hit. Usually it's into the hip of the backhand side. So it cramps up the backhand. Sorry. It's usually the hip on the forehand side, so it cramps up your forehand because you can usually hit a backhand from your hip with 2 hands, but you can't really hit a forehand like this, can you? All right? So it's usually in the hip of the forehand. It's a really effective one. Oh my God. But yeah, that's a body serve. It's basically just going down the middle at the body of this person here. There you go. 3 serves. For a right-hander, left-hander, it's the opposite side. Out wide is out wide. Now, the reason why a left-handed out wide serve is effective is because if you serve like this as a lefty and you're playing a right-hander, that's their backhand. So you're serving it out to their backhand, which is usually players' worst shot. So that's why the out wide for the lefty is so effective. But as a righty, out wide, down the tee, and the tee means this intersection here, right? So see how this is a tee? See how that's a tee? See how that's a T, right? That makes sense? That's the T. Anyways, we're back on serve. There'll be a quiz on Monday. Cam's a lefty. No, I'm just... I'm a lefty on stream. I drew too much red. My board is broken. Okay. Andreeva. So it's 30-15. All right, 30-15. As we get a return long by Andreeva, 40-15. This is Tennis 101. We can go into more depth next year in Tennis 102. Tennis 101. As Boisson serves a fault. Was that a fault, though? Umpire's going to check. That looked close. It must have gone long. It looked like it was in line. No, it was just wide. I'm blind. Second serve. Second serve. Double fault. (40-30). 40-30. As Boisson serves. Into the backhand of Andreeva. Forehand Boisson. Into the backhand of Andreeva. As Boisson forehand inside out in the nets. Deuce. All right. We get to deuce. This will be the biggest upset of the year? Yes. As the return goes into the forehand of Boisson, backing out from Andreeva lob. I mean, the Pegula match could be an upset too, you know. And then Boisson hits a terrible smash. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. As Andreeva hits it out on the return. Good serving from Boisson. Pegula was not upset. Not upset this is. Well, Pegula was number 3. So, I mean, 3 is higher than 5. Or 6. 5? 6. All right, back to deuce. As a default second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Andreeva. Backing out from Boisson. As Andreeva forehand. Boisson runs around, hits a forehand into the forehand of Andreeva. And Andreeva hits it in the net. Advantage Boisson. To take the game and level. As a serve. Massive serve, and Andreeva hits in the net. I think Boisson thought it was a let or a fault. I don't know. She just stood there, but it went in. And it's 3-all, and Andreeva's starting to get really frustrated at the coaches now. She's starting to yell at them. I don't remember what Raducanu's ranking was when she won the US Open. Her ranking was 150. 150. And Boisson was 361. So by a mile, Boisson winning this would be one of the most, probably the lowest ranked player to ever win a slam since the rankings on the women's side. I would guess. I doubt that many other players lower ranked would have done this. Also, I don't think a wild card on the women's side's ever won a slam. I know Goran has on the men's, but yeah. Anyways, love 15. Boisson. By the way, after this, we got Sinner versus Bublik. So that's fun. That'll be fun. Won't be boring. We know that because Bublik is not boring. He's you can say things, but he's not boring. Love 30. Oh, Andreeva just hit the ball out of the crowd. Oh, the crowd saw that too. They're like, oh, okay. Can't really hit the ball out of the stadium because the roof's shut, but code violation, Andreeva. And the crowd are making all kinds of noise. They were like, yes, we got her. She is playing 2 players today. One's on the court, one's around, and then there's several around the court. Love 30. And chat, this is what I said at the start of the match. Andreeva dealing with this was going to be something. It's going to be a factor. And she can't deal with it right now. And now that she's made an error, made them get into it, they're going to cheer everything she does. Every error she makes, every fault she hits. Love 30. He's going to find out from Andreeva. And it goes out apparently. Boisson is saying it's out. This is a big call. Umpire's going to check. Andreeva's like, that was in. No, it wasn't. Love 40. Andreeva was confident. Oh no, don't talk to the umpire. They're just going to get on your back even more. Andreeva's asking. I'm going to be honest though. Boisson did stop the point. So Andreeva doesn't really have a case here because Boisson did stop the point. She stopped the point. She did stop the point, Boisson. Even though she probably stopped the point as well as hitting it, like, she did stop the point. Boisson did stop the point. Love 40. I think Andreeva was thinking that Boisson played on, and then when she saw a smash, she stopped it. She did say, hey, that was out. Anyways, love 40. Is it a final from Andreeva? That's a winner. 15-40. It was out as well, so the right call was made. 15-40. Boisson to get the break and lead. First serve was a fault, second serve. Second serve. Double faults! And Andreeva is not happy. This is a hard lesson to learn. This is a very hard lesson to learn. I guess every young player goes through. I mean, even Rafa, when he first played the French Open, go watch Nadal 2005 French Open versus Grosjean. Even Rafa had to deal with this crowd early on until they loved him and then they put his footprint on the ground. Rafa 2005 Roland Garros, he had to deal with this. Andreeva, they're showing the replay of her hitting the ball into the crowd. And that was she made the most of that code violation. She made the most of that. I think she's telling people to get out of her box. She's definitely shaking as well, which is a shame. You don't want to see Andreeva look be upset. But this is the initiation. Playing a French player in France on a big stage is going to be. This is one of the worst situations to be in as an opponent. If you're an emotional player yourself, if you're not emotional, like let's say Jannik Sinner, for example, is non-emotional, right? He would deal with this a lot different because he doesn't take, it so much. But if you're an emotional player, then this is going to affect you, right? 4-3. Boisson has the break. She's 2 games away from the French Open semis. And win or lose, Andreeva's going to learn something today. She's going to be mentally prepared the next time she has to deal with this situation. Win or lose, she's going to be like, okay, this is a situation that you kind of got to go through, I guess. 15 love. Sort of fault second serve. I don't think Gauff's going to have the same issues as Andreeva today dealing with this. I think Gauff knows what's going to happen. And plus, Gauff has the benefit of watching this and seeing what Andreeva's dealing with. And she goes, okay, if I double fault, I'm not going to take it personally when they start screaming. Like, Gauff is more experienced in this situation. So I don't think Gauff's going to... I would be shocked if Gauff took the cheering personally like Andreeva is right now. But of course Andreeva is. Like I said, she hasn't been in this situation. She hasn't been in this situation. All right. 15
Thanks for the awesome tennis. For a treat for me and coffee for you.
No worries. Thank you, Robin, for the $4. Appreciate that. As Boisson is 15-30. Gauff's very sensitive as well. But that's a different... What do you mean? Give me an example. 15-30. Goff's been more frustrated when umpires make stupid calls rather than when crowds start to cheer. Like, she doesn't get... I don't think Gauff gets affected by crowds more than she gets affected by being felt like she's been hard done by when there's a bad call that goes against her and she was in the right. Like, those are the times when she has been in, like, you know, like last year's Olympics, right? The umpire made a call. She didn't believe the call was right. The umpire didn't give her the time of day, and then she got upset. That's a different situation than Gauff getting upset by someone like the crowd. I don't think she'll get affected by the crowd because she knows what to do. Well, she knows how to deal with this, right? It ain't over though, exactly. So the Gauff might not even have to deal with the crowd. All right. 30-40. Breakback point. All right. 30-40. There's a bit of fault from Boisson. Second serve. Second serve. The back of Andreeva. Boisson forehand. Into the back of Andreeva down the line. Boisson with a slice. As with a forehand down the line from Andreeva. Boisson hits a forehand again to the forehand of Andreeva. Boisson forehand again. Andreeva goes down the line. Boisson's there with the backhand. Andreeva back in the net. We get to deuce. We get to deuce. It is definitely not over. This game is crucial. We get to deuce. So many Gauff haters. By the way, the winner of this match plays tomorrow. Has been a forehand return into the forehand of Boisson. Forehand from Andreeva down the line's a winner. No, Boisson gets it with a lob. And then Andreeva puts away the smash. All right. Advantage Andreeva. Advantage Andreeva. To take back the break. Serve. As the backhand return goes long by Andreeva. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. Five-minute game, by the way. Why do different commentators have different comments for different players? Example, when Andreeva hit the ball toward the ball person, she's emotional. When Serena does it, she's angry. Who said she didn't hit the ball at the ball person? She hit the ball in the crowd and she was angry. What do you mean? Anyways, advantage Boisson to take the 5-3 lead, keep the break. Serve. Into the forehand of Andreeva. Return goes into the forehand of Boisson. Andreeva backhand. Into the forehand of Boisson. As Andreeva backhand again. Into the forehand of Boisson on the stretch. Andreeva forehand. Drop shot in the net. It's 5-3. 1 second chat. Boisson takes the 5-3 lead. Okay. Love 15. Boisson is 3 points away. 3 points from a massive upset. Why weren't we talking about her at the start of the tournament? Why are we only talking about her now? I guess it's kind of like Eala, right? We didn't really talk about Eala until she beat Swiatek. All right, love 15. As Andreeva serves. A fault. Hey, Elliot, thank you for becoming a Tier 2 member. Appreciate that. Sinner's coming on straight after this. Andreeva forehanded the forehand of Boisson. Forehand from Andreeva. To the backhand of Boisson. Sliced. As Andreeva backhand long. Love 30. Love 30. There's always one of these stories, chat. We haven't had one of these stories, really. I mean, when was the last time we had this kind of like... When was the last time we had one of these kind of stories? Australian Open didn't have this story. Like a random semi-finalist. When was the last time we had a Grand Slam story like this? Maybe Wimbledon, right? Wimbledon had a lot of, Paolini and Krejcikova and Raducanu, and, we had a lot. Love 40, that goes in the net. US Open last year, who made the semis? Mukova, Navarro, Pegula. It wasn't like this, though. This is a whole different type of fight. Last year we had like Krejcikova, Paolini, Vekic. I don't know. There was not like this though. Not a wild card into the semis. It's been a minute. Maybe Sun at the Wimbledon. Yeah, maybe getting the quarters. Maybe, I don't know. All right, here we go. Boisson's got 3 match points to take out Andreeva. Serve. Into the forehand of Boisson. Good return. Andreeva forehand into the forehand of Boisson. As Andreeva with the backhand. Into the forehand of Boisson. She's going after it. Andreeva with a slice lob. It's high. It's up. It's up. It's out! A French woman into the semis of the French Open. When does that happen? When was the last time that happened? Boisson beats Pegula and Andreeva, and she's going to play Gauff tomorrow. And the crowd... And Boisson says, I'm sorry for the crowd. She said, I'm sorry she didn't need to say that, but she said, I apologize to Andreeva. It wasn't easy for Andreeva. She's going to learn. This is just one of those things where you got to deal with this crowd. And then the next time she has to play in a situation like this, whether it be Wimbledon, whether it be Australia, US Open, whatever, France, Andreeva will figure it out from now. But that's the first time she had to deal with something like that. And unfortunately, she did get affected by it. But Boisson, jeez. She is a marathon woman. Now, the first set went for like an hour and a half. And she takes out Andreeva in straights, but it was 2 hours, so it didn't feel like straight sets. 7-6-6-3, Gauff versus Boisson. Swiatek Sabalenka, that's the semifinals. That's the lineup. That's what we got. Not since Mary Pierce. I thought I read somewhere that Bartoli got to the semis. Didn't Bartoli get to the semis? In France? I thought she did. Bartoli, 2011. 2011 Bartoli was the last French woman to make the semis. So there you go. I knew I read that somewhere. All right, chat. The women's quarterfinals are locked. They are done. They are locked in, and they're going to be tomorrow. So we've got Swiatek Sabalenka, which will be first, and then after that, we're going to have Gauff versus Boisson. So we're going to, we're going to have one wild card story. We haven't really had many. The WTA has been so consistent that we needed someone to come through and mess it all up. But great matches either way. And yeah, I think out of the 3 top players that Boisson could play, I think Gauff out of the 3 is probably her better chance. If she plays Swiatek, if she plays Sabalenka, I don't think it would be as, maybe she wouldn't have as much of a chance, but she could get Gauff because Gauff hasn't played super well the last couple of matches. Today against Keys, there was a lot of mistakes, and obviously the mistakes are going to get compounded by cheering every time she makes a mistake, Coco. So it's going to be that added pressure not to make a mistake because you don't want the crowd to get involved. But, I mean, could Boisson make the final? I don't know. I mean, probably her best chance is probably against Gauff. I still think Gauff probably wins, but she's going to make a massive effort of it. It's going to be a hell of a day tomorrow. For the French, it's great because you've got a huge matchup with Sabalenka. Swiatek's one of the has been the 1-2 in the world the last couple of years, and then you've got a French woman in the final in the semis. So if you got a semi-final ticket for tomorrow, you're getting your money's worth because you got to see 3 great players and a local. I mean, what an atmosphere! What a great lineup! All right, chat. I'm going to send you over the next one. Sinner versus Bublik. Let's see what Jannik Sinner can do against this magician. Let's see what he can do. Because Bublik, he broke the hearts of the British a couple of days ago. But can he take on the best? Can he beat the best? The number one. Can he beat Sinner? That is the question. We're going to find out very, very shortly. But Boisson continues the fairy tale. She takes out Andreeva. 7-6, 6-3 in 2 hours and 10 minutes, 2 hours, 9 minutes. And she's going to play Coco Gauff tomorrow. I don't think they've played, but we'll find that out later. But men's quarterfinal action coming up next, Sinner versus Bublik.